In a fun junk journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats.
Hello, crafty friends. Welcome to Hither and Yon Studio. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. DJ here in the studio today. Someone or something did not want me to make this video. First, I ran out of the time to edit it because I had other stuff going on unexpectedly. Then I went to edit it and all of the sound was gone. It was just a mess. So we're doing it again. We're starting all over. So welcome. If you're new here, I'm DJ and this is Hither and Yon Studio, and we paper craft and do junk journals and all sorts of fun stuff. I want to do a shout out to all my coffee subscribers and to all my YouTube studio friend members. Thank you so much to everyone who is supporting me on my crafty journey. You guys make this all possible. So thank you so much. We're going to work in the November kit, which is a colorful, bright, exciting kit. And I'm so excited to do this one today. So we're going to make our base booklet and we're going to do some pages and stuff. I'm not going to use any of the little fussy cuts yet, just because this video will go on for a couple of hours and that's not going to work. So we are going to do the base. We're going to make a tabbed book for this, but you don't have to. You can make a standard journal, anything you like. And if you don't know anything of what I'm talking about, this is a free kit. It's free throughout the month of November. It has a bunch of pages. There's a video before this where I show you everything that's inside this kit, including all these cute little fussy cuts and all these buildings and all the papers that you see here. So lots of fun stuff that you can play with. And that's what we're going to do today. So let's get to going. I should be old hat at this. All right. So I'm going to use these two as my covers. I've cut out 2 pieces of chipboard. You could use cereal box or macaroni box or anything. It really doesn't matter. And then they're 6 by 9, so 6 inches by 9 inches. So this is going to be a more full-size journal. You can make it any size you want. You can shrink these houses down. We're going to do a couple of other projects this month, I hope. The way things are going. I don't know. All right, but I want to use these for my cover because I want to build some pretty stuff on them. So I'm just going to cut these down because I don't need the whole thing. And just going to leave I don't know, a little more than 1/2 inch around the sides. And I'm actually going to cut them at the same time. So my paper is 8.5 by 11. I don't know, I'm taking off about 1 inch on each side. So, but you just want to leave a little overlap on whatever size you're going with. Keep in mind that our buildings are pretty decent size, so that's why I'm going with this size. And it's my birthday month, so I get to do whatever I want. So there. Nah. All right, so we're going to do the covers. We don't need a spine because our pages will become our spine. All right, and then we're just going to glue these down like so. I'm going to use my Fabrifix. You can use whatever glue you have. Elmer's is fine. If you have art glitter glue or berry glue, it's all good. It's all good. You can use, you can even use tape if you want. If you have double-sided tape, you can use that, sure. How is everyone? I hope you're doing good. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. Sorry this video is a little late, but it is what it is. That's all I can say. Sometimes life throws things at you and you can't expect to account for everything, right? So here we go. And putting that down, and then I'm going to cut off the corners. Now I've printed all of my pages on my Nina cardstock, the one that I love. It's in my Amazon shop under my favorites and under my printing supplies, so you can go see. It's the index weight one that I'm using. I don't know, I want to say it's maybe 60 pound. I don't know what the GSM is. But it's not like a heavyweight cardstock. It's kind of a lighter weight cardstock. And then I also have some book pages here that we're going to use for the inside. I'll show you those in a sec. I glued a bunch together. So we will let these dry for a sec. I have a couple of different sizes. So these are a little smaller. These are taller. And what I did was I glued 4 sheets of book page together to give these some weight, because this was kind of thinner book page. And then these I only needed 3 pages because they're fairly thin. So I'm going to use both in this booklet. And I'm also going to use some double-sided tape. I have some 1/2 inch, and this is what I'm going to use for my tabs. This and the papers from the kit. So the reason I'm using the double-sided tape is because I'm hoping that the tape itself will give it a little more stability to the tabs. So that's why I'm going to use that. But let's get these done. What I need to do is just miter these corners. So I'm cutting, but I'm not cutting all the way down to the corner. Like so. Okay, and then I'm going to get my bone folder, and I'm just going to go right up to that edge and then kind of fold this over. And the only reason I have to do that is because this is a heavier weight paper. It's not like copy weight. So I just want to have it pushed down some before I glue it. And then we're going to go in and glue it. I'm going to do this to all 4 sides on both. And then I'll meet you back here to glue. Okay, I'm back. We're just going to glue these down. I'm going to glue the 2 longer ones first. We're going to cover this, so I'm just pushing the extra glue in there. And then up here on the end, I just want to, you see how we did that with the little mitered corner there? I just want to push that in and against that other piece. So I'm just pushing that little bit of corner that's sticking out down and in. All right, I'm going to do that on both sides. All right, let me glue this side down. All right, and now I'm going to do these 2. And now that I mitered in, pushed in those little edges, they'll tuck away inside there and be a nice clean edge. See, nice and clean. All right, so I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to do the other piece as well. So we'll have our two covers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's done. So these are both covered. I'm going to make this one my front. I'm going to put that up there like that. And this will be my back. I also cut out pieces to go on the inside, which we can attach. But I do want to get, probably be using this a lot, a marker. And I'm kind of just going to go around the edges to get rid of that white core. Because it's got a lot of black with the color, I just want to kind of go around like this. I think it's just a nicer look. You don't have to. Okay, and then I just got to decide what's going to go where. I want this one here and this one here. And then glue them down. And I'm just using my art glitter glue, which is a PVA and art glitter glue mix on my website under FAQs if you want to go check it out. But it's like a 50-50 mix, PVA, art glitter glue, a little bit of water. I love all these bright colors, guys. Tell me if you are loving this month, because it's so much fun. I think it is. I love it, I love it, I love it. I wanted my birthday month to be a big celebration, and it's going to be. So I know I see a lot of you are also November babies. That's awesome. Happy birthday to all my fellow Scorpios. And what do we got in there with you? Libra? I don't remember. Virgo, maybe? So happy, 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 happy. I know some Sag comes later in the month, right? Alright, and then I thought it would be fun to kind of roll some paint onto these book pages, so I am going to do that. But all of this is up to interpretation, so you can do whatever you want with yours. You don't have to do what I'm doing, and you don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing it. I'm just doing it in a way that I think is fun, but you can do what you like. All right, so this is going to be like this, and then all of our pages here are going to sit in between like that. And I don't mind that it's a little messy and kind of wonky. I'm probably going to mix these up into like bits, but we're gonna paint on them. So let me get this stuff out of the way. You don't have to do this part. Absolutely not. You can just skip ahead if you want. I just need something to paint on. I think I'm going to put a combination of black, and then I'm going to roll over it with some other colors. But let's start there and see how it looks. I'm just going to use acrylic paint. You can also use some black gesso if that's what you have. And I'm really just going to kind of pour a little on and then use my brayer to kind of move it around a bit. I think the black on the pages will make the color pop more, so that's why I'm doing black. It's very black. And I can do like this. And then get some on this other page. It's going to be messy. I don't mind getting messy. This will also help it dry a lot faster if it's not so super thick. Okay, we'll put these over here. We'll do a couple more. Maybe we'll do them like this. Make it so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I don't want it to be perfect. I want it to be imperfect. Just like a little bit. Then we have to do the other sides too. And then I'll dry them and we'll come back and put some color on them. And I don't know. I'm just kind of playing it by ear, guys. I want it to be whimsical and fun and not too, not so serious. Why so serious? So this looks like... Get messy. This one needs a little more. The book page really absorbs a lot of paint, so it's looks like a lot, but it really takes in a lot. Where did I put the little ones? Oh, here they are. If you don't have a brayer, just use, you can use anything that spreads paint. You can use one of these, works perfectly fine. So you don't need the brayer. So if you don't have one, you can also just, we'll do a couple where I'm just putting the paint on the page and then smushing it. Because why not? That's fun. So maybe we'll do like this. And then we'll just, like the old school ink blots. Ooh, that's fun. And maybe all this black isn't up your alley, but I think it's going to be good when we put all those other backgrounds on them. Okay, let me dry this side. I'll do the other side, and then I will meet you back here. Okay, so the page is practically dried. I didn't even have to dry them. They're still a little damp, but that's okay. I can still assemble. And I thought that I would assemble them before I put any more color down, because I wanted to see how it looked when it was all assembled, and then we could go from there. I don't think it really matters, but I'm trying to get them somewhat organized. Okay, so now I have to pick some paper for my strips, and I have some scraps, so I'm going to start with those. And so all I'm going to do is put this tape down starting at the edge. I think I'm going to leave a little space just so it's a little easier for me to see where I'm cutting. I'm going to hand cut them just because I think it'll be easier than trying to line them up. With the paper trimmer, you know. So I'm just cutting right where the tape ends. These little extra strips I can use in the journal somewhere. Is it a journal? Is it an art book? I don't know. You decide. You decide what you've created. Once you've created it, I think I'm going to call mine an art book. An artist's book. I don't know. Not going to really be a journal in my case. You could certainly make yours a journal and put journal pages in between to journal on. Absolutely. I think I just want it to be a fun book that I could put out and you could flip through. All right, and as far as how long I'm going to make these, because these are going to be our strips, so these are going to kind of sit like this, and we're going to have like 1, 2, 3, and then 2. So how long is this? Two and a half. Yeah, I'm going to go with 2.5-inch strips. I think that'll work fine. All right, so if you're just using paper, you can just cut a strip and then you can cut it at a 1/2 inch if you want. You can do them thicker also if you'd like. This is just the biggest tape that I had, and that was double-sided, so that's what I wanted to use. And then I'm going to cut them. We're going to need more than what I've done here, but this will get us started. And I just love that it varies the color just because the paper is so colorful. Okay, so I'm going to cut a bunch of 1/2 inch strips at 2.5 inch, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, I have a bunch of these strips, and I have my covers. So, like this, and then like this. And so, to begin, we have to put 3 strips down. Now, I'm trying to decide, I guess with I'm going to do it like this, because then we're going to have 2 in between. So this will be the first one with 3. So what we need to do is on our cover, I'm going to take the tape off the second piece, but if you're just using paper, just put some glue. Okay, so we're going to take our cover, and I'm just going to find the center and about where I want to. And if you don't want this hanging over this much, just make your strips thinner, but I want it to be wonky, so. Okay, and then the other 2 will go above and below. Get this will be easier, I hope. Maybe not. There we go. All right, and I want it out about the same width. Okay, so this is my front cover. Okay, and then we're going to, okay, and when I put this on here, I want to make sure I don't catch those, but I want it to be lined up here, and then these are going to go like under this page, but on the other side is going to go on top of this page. So, and I'm trying to center it there. And again, if this gets a little wonky, I don't care, because I lost my pen, because it's a whimsical theme, so I don't mind if it gets a little weird. I feel like I am going to poke myself with this needle. So you're going to have 2 here on this page, like so. Okay, and then make sure everything is lined up, and then you're going to take the first 3 we did and fold them over this page. Like that. So that leaves the 2 we just put on. And now we're going to get our next page, and we're going to add 3. So we're just going to keep doing that. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Until you fill with all your pages. I'll keep going for a little while so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So this is my next page. I'm going to put it up against the spine. I'm going to try to line up where those other tabs are. So I'm kind of putting it like here. Like that. Okay, and then the second and third one. Again, you want to keep this side of your spine aligned. Okay, and then you're going to take the other 2 and fold them in. And then we're going to get our next page, and so on. All right, so this one's going to get 2. You can keep watching, and you can go back and rewatch if you've kind of lost track of what we're doing. So you just do 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. And each time you're folding over, not the ones you're doing, but the ones you did previously. Hopefully that all makes sense. Okay, so we just did these two. We're going to fold over 3. Pretty sure that's right, yes. Okay, and then our next page gets 2. Or 3 rather, because there's 2 sticking out. Okay, so those 3 are there, and I'm going to fold over the 2. 1, 2. So you're always folding over the ones that you had from the previous page. Okay, and there's 3 sticking out, so the next one I'm going to do is 2, and so on. So I'm going to continue on. I need to cut more strips for myself. I'll do these last 2 with you, and then I'll cut more, and I'll go to the end, but I'm not going to put the back cover on yet. I'll show that with you here, but I'm just going to keep repeating this. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. It gets easier as you do it, so don't get discouraged. It looks a little tricky, but it actually isn't that bad. Okay, I put 2 on, you see, so I'm going to fold over the 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then this page will go here, and I'll put 1, 2, 3 on this one. All right, so let me cut out a bunch more. I'll be right back. Okay, I am on to my last page, and I have 2 here. So the next set I'm going to do is 3, which is probably the best way to end on a 3 page. So make another page or take one away, depending on how many you made. So this one's going to end in 3. I just think it's more stable when you end in 3. Could you work if it ends in 2? Yes. I just like it because I started with 3, and that's what's on the cover, and that's what I want on the back. Okay, so 3 are going here. And I did stick myself, of course, off camera. It was inevitable. And then I'm going to wrap these 2. Now I'm going to bring in my cover, and I'm going to put it on here. Just make sure it is aligned with my front cover somewhat. Again, I'm making it wonky on purpose. So, and then I'm going to wrap these last 3 over my back cover. And now you'll see our journal is completely attached to itself. There's no sewing, and everything is one cohesive little book, and it looks really cool on the back. Look. So that's done. Let's see. Yeah, we got a little bit of time. So what I'm thinking is I want to start in the back. And I want to get like a really big house, like this one. Because what I thought would be fun is if like some of these stuck out the top and off the side a little too. Like, oh, maybe like here. So these, maybe I'll put normal. And see how it just kind of brings this to life? You know what I think I'm going to do is get my scorched timber ink and use that on the edges of these, because I think it needs a really dark color. I just think it'll lift up the color more. And you could just use a magic marker. See what I mean? It's like an outline almost. So I'll do a couple of these pages. I'll kind of show you what I'm going to do so you can play ahead if you want. But I'm not going to do them all because this video will be 2 hours, 3 hours long, and not everybody has that kind of time. So, and this is the blank one, so I get to put in my windows and everything. Just makes it pop off the page. I really like that. And then I'm thinking, like, am I going to want to have some stuff behind it? I think I will. So maybe I'll just prep them and I won't get them completely done. All right, I need another really tall one. I'll get them where I need them. Maybe I should paper clip them. So you'll have your journal started. Yeah, so I think it'll be fun to have some kind of hanging out over the edge so you can see them. And then I have some ideas of some stuff to do on the back. And I'm going to paint the back of these in some bright colors. So if you want to go ahead and do that and you can use marker or paint, whatever you like, just so that when they're hanging over the edge, they like what's on the other side, because I have an idea to cover up a lot of that, but then there's some that we're gonna see. So just looking for some tall ones. That one. Everything's sticking to my hands. So then on this page, I could actually do 2. Maybe a skinny one. Maybe like that or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to do some too where I think I'm going to cut around them off the edge of the page. Maybe we'll do this one here. I don't know. I might change these up, but I'm definitely going to paint the other side or use some marker on the other side. So, because some of these are going to stick out, I'll tell you why. Like that. That's what I want to do. Some I'm going to put inside and cut around them off the page. So we're going to have some like that. And then for the ones that kind of stick off the page, you see how you can see this white? I'm going to color it. And then I have some ideas to kind of also fill in there. Maybe I can just do one here and then we'll have like fussy cuts and stuff. And there's going to be more. It's just not going to be houses on the pages. Like these would be fun to kind of put off the edge like this. There's these doubles. That would be really fun. And then maybe I'll have like a straight one here that I can cut out off the page. I don't know. Maybe we'll put this one here too, just in case. So that I think is our video today. We got this piece prepped. Lots of fun things. I'm going to put a few more of these, like figure out where I want them. And I'm going to consider that we have all these fussy cuts, right? Like these trees and stuff. And so I'm going to want to use these as well in these backgrounds. And I'm going to put paint on the backgrounds. So I was thinking, if you want to kind of play ahead, I'm going to splatter some colored paint and maybe some white, just so I have a lot of contrast. That's what I'm really going for, is a lot of contrast. And I think these strips would be really cool, kind of like if we did something like this on the background and then put our piece over it like that. So I'm going to do stuff like that. I'm going to cut out a bunch of circles. We're going to use those. So just some things you can do to play ahead if you want to prep. But that's our video for today. We have our journal together. It's lots of fun. You can decorate around the edges if you want. You can put a pocket or something inside here for your bits if you want to. It's completely up to you. From this point on, you can kind of make it your own, or you can wait and see what I'm doing. So I'll be back next Thursday. Sorry this video is late. It should be on Thursday. So every Thursday. And we'll continue in this, possibly finish this one up, and then hopefully move in so we can do another couple of projects on the final Thursday. All right, guys, thanks for playing. Let me know what you think so far. And if you're going to play along like this, or if you're just going to kind of freestyle it on your own. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day or night.